Hello, I'm Mike Gordon. Welcome back to my perfect playthrough of Pokemon Gold and Silver for the Game Boy Color. And it's currently Thursday at 8:04 p.m. Which means we can now make our next fishing encounter here. But before I do that, I want to make sure that Quilava's at the front of my party. Note that I made a ton of duplications off screen. Like, a ton. Like, you even saw that I swapped out Abra for a level 29 Flaaffy. And by the way, this took a really long time to do. So, first capture for both games is Staryu. Silver has to slow down so I could read both Pokedex entries. So, there's that. So, we're reading Gold's first. At night, the center of its body slowly flickers with the same rhythm as a human heartbeat. And now it's Silver's turn. Still moving slow. Even if its body is torn, it can regenerate as long as the glowing central core remains intact. So I was still moving super slow there because I wanted to put as much distance between Gold and Silver as possible so I could read both Staryu's Pokedex entries. So that is the last fishing encounter of the area. Now it's time to head westbound to Cianwood City to pick up the secret potion and get our next badge. And this next badge is pivotal because it gives us access to fly. Both the HM and the ability to use it outside of battle. So Quilava here is gonna battle all the poison type Pokemon on this route. Flaaffy here I brought along so I could battle the two Gyarados later on. And then Bayleaf will take care of everything else. Silver's the first one to get a surf encounter. Typical. By the way, most ocean routes have Tentacool and Tentacruel available in the wild. Gold also has one extra Pokemon to catch over Silver. Alright, Tentacool in Silver. And it looks like Gold's gonna catch one as well. It drifts aimlessly in waves. Very difficult to see in water. It may not be noticed until it stings. Man, Tentacool? Alright, now it's Gold's turn to read the Pokedex entry, while Silver battles the second swimmer. When the tide goes out, dehydrated Tentacool remains can be found washed up on the shore. Alright. So, both games still need to find Tentacruel, and Gold also needs to find Mantine, which is a Gold exclusive. Silver's version exclusive counterpart will not be available till much later. So, yep. Bayleaf used Razor Leaf. And that's the MO for both Gold and Silver, so just spam Razor Leaf. Bayleaf grew to level 27. Serpal was defeated. At least in Gold version. Silver has to beat her as well. And this is the last trader on this side of the sea route, Route 40, I believe. Then it's Route 41, and that's where Mantine can be found. A young guy like you should swim, don't surf on your own. Okay. Randall likes a battle. Go Bayleaf! Bayleaf use Razor Leaf? Yup. Randall's on shoulder, good. Bayleaf use Razor Leaf. And yep. So, I basically have to methodically battle each and every one of these trainers. So, yeah, Silver is a little bit behind, but Silver has one less capture than Gold does. So that's not a big deal. Alright, and... Go Quilava! Headbutt strats here. So yeah, if a new trainer uses poison type Pokemon, Quilava will literally battle everything. You might think, oh, Dig's super effective, but with only 2 exceptions, Quilava could probably handle everything with Headbutt. Deals slightly more damage against the non-poison types, and it's a turn faster. I mean, Dig got nerfed to High Heavens in Generation 2 by now being base power 40. In Gen 1, it was base 100. So, really, the difference is, Dig has base power 80. Look, here's Mantine. When used on a super effect on a Pokemon weak to ground types, while Headbutt's base 70 no matter what. So, here's the gold exclusive. We got him. Alright. As it majestically swims, it doesn't care if Remoraid attached to it for scavenging its leftovers. I got news for you. Remoraid cannot be found on this route, so it's kind of funny that Mantine is supposed to have something of a symbiotic relationship with Remoraid, and yet you can't catch Remoraid at all on this route. This is the only route that Mantine appears in, and Remoraid actually appears in a freshwater route for some reason. Honestly, I think that Crystal version probably should have just made Remoraid available on the Wild in Route 41 as a fishing encounter. But I don't believe that Crystal changes the fishing encounters all that much. So what do I know? Well, you know what? If Yellow could drastically change all the fishing encounters, so could Crystal. So here is where I actually need to use Dig. And Silver version is currently just slightly ahead of Gold. So I'm just checking carefully. Right now, silver is noticeably ahead because I'm taking my sweet time gold. Is it? No. It's another Mantine. Aren't Tentacruels supposed to be more common than Mantine? Mantine is like a 10% encounter. So Bayleaf will be battling the vast majority of these water encounters. And trust me, Bayleaf needs the experience because Chuck can be pretty tough without Bayleaf. I don't have any strong psychic Pokemon. So I gotta make do with what I do have, no matter what. So yeah, I have to just keep spamming Razor Leaf on all these Pokemon. So, yep. Master Ball on the Tentacruel. That is the last encounter for Gold version. Fortunately, it'll be a while before Silver encounters one. Its 8 tentacles absorb water and stretch almost endlessly to constrict its prey and enemies. Wait. No, that was just a Tentacool. I think following the next battle, I'm just going to use Repel. And now that Gold's found all the encounters, I could use Repel here. But Silver still needs to find its last encounter. So I'm using Headbutt on this Quillfish, yep, to get the flinch. And now I'm gonna use Digs to try and make this a 2-shot. I figure no matter what, this is gonna be a 3-turn attack unless I get crit on Headbutt. So I did this for assurance's sake. So Silver continues on moving on ahead of Gold. Flaaffy's my next Pokemon because the 2 Gyarados I spoke about earlier are coming up. Right here. I can tell because there's like 4 male swimmers. So process of elimination is this guy either has the solo Krabby or the 2 Gyarados, and no matter what, Flaaffy needs both to fully evolve. Well, that's not true. I could also give it the rare candy that it's holding. And this is what happens when I use Dig on Quillfish. I get hit with Water Gun. It's not enough to one-shot. That's why I start with Headbutt in Silver version. Spoilers, I play Gold first and then Silver. That's basically my MO. Alright, and... So this trainer, though, is yet another Bayleaf. And all the females, like, outside the first one... Oh wow, I'm sick. Just spam Razor Leaf. Flaaffy, use Thunder Shock. Like through level 29. Flaaffy, use Tackle. And yep. Sadly, Thundershock is really just barely in range against these Gyarados. And despite being quad weak and dealing 6 times damage. Again, it could be an indication that Gold's Flaaffy is weak as hell, while Silver's wasn't. No, they're different trainers. But man, Silver is a full trainer ahead of Gold at this point. Alright, Bayleaf uses Razor Leaf. And Bayleaf just keeps spamming Razor Leaf. So there's 2 trainers left. This guy I definitely need Flaaffy for. Though incidentally enough, had I kept Bayleaf in the front, I would have had the opportunity to evolve them later on. So Silver's sort of stalling things out because I'm looking to keep my teams synchronized with one another. Actually, I was wrong. Silver is 2 trainers ahead of Gold. So even though I decide to go for the early Repel and Silver version, even though I'm still looking for Tentacruel, I will be catching Tentacruel near the very end of the route. Just gonna have to burn out my Repel first. Anyways, Silver's Flaaffy evolves. Is evolving into Ampharos. I will be sure to make sure to save all the Pokédex reading till the end of the episode. Well, at least in Gold version. Silver, I will wait until. I will actually have to wait till the end of the episode for one game, while the other will be reading all the evolution entries as soon as possible. This is going to be a bit awkward because there is a trade Pokemon as well as an evolution that I decided to catch at the very end of the episode. So the timing is without doubt going to be awkward. So now it's Gold's turn to evolve Flaaffy into Ampharos. And don't worry, I still got my living dex intact. Thanks to the duplication glitch. Thunder Punch will be on Cotton Spore. Now, to be fair, I may or may not decide to use Ampharos on my team later on. Since I'm using this method to try to achieve a perfect playthrough, it is possible that I will just continue using fully evolved Pokemon. So I won't have to worry about. So yeah, I wait for the Repel to run out, and then I'm going to use Sweet Scent. There you are, Tentacruel. Just need to capture it. So yeah, I would say about the majority, a good chunk of this episode is going to be me reading Pokédex entries. Just a heads up. In battle, it extends all 80 of its tentacles to entrap its opponent inside a poisonous net. So why am I doing this? Why am I... especially when a decent chunk of these Pokemon can still be caught in the wild? Well, the reason for that is actually really simple. Gold and Silver, because Gold and Silver basically need to make captures and try to work their way around each other, I want to make sure that I don't have to worry about the Pokedex entries overlapping. Well, after this little experiment, I realized I also need to make some further adjustments to make sure there is really no overlap when reading Pokedex entries. So, Silver is going to go ahead and make some evolutions now, while Gold is going to take on Chuck. But regardless, both games are going to go ahead and try to run a few errands first. Specifically, I need to talk to this guy for the secret potion. And the reason for this is because talking to him after you talk to Jasmine atop the Lighthouse will inform him that, oh, the Pokemon at the top of the Lighthouse is sick. So he hands you the secret potion to help recover it. Since this is an emergency, he just gives it to us. And this guy will give us a gift Pokemon that's basically treated as an in-game trade, because technically this Pokemon isn't ours. And oh yeah, we need to break some rocks, so you get some hidden items underneath, like that Max Ether. And there's one more item for us to get. I realized in Scold the version I forgot the Max Ether. So Silver has already completed all of its errands. So now it's time to get started with evolving Pokemon. While Gold will take on the gym. And then they will switch roles afterwards. Jimmy saved the game. And that's when I realized, oh, I'm in the wrong box. So I gotta make changes here. That's okay, I have to do this anyways, because even if it was in the right PC box, I would still have to move it to their correct boxes. As you can see, I actually numbered out all the boxes here for the living dex purpose. For the purpose of doing the whole living dex thing. So now that I've done all that, my limit here is going to be 20 Pokemon at a time in the reserve box. So the Shucky here actually comes with a berry, and Shuckle is the first Pokemon in history to have an in-game ability. Abilities were really something that would be introduced in Generation 3, Ruby and Sapphire specifically. But Shuckle is and though the game doesn't state it, Shuckle is the first Pokemon to have an ability. You can walk around with while you walk around with a Shuckle in your party. If Shuckle's holding a berry, it will eventually turn into berry juice, and over time that berry juice will turn into a rare candy. So this is the first instance where you can actually farm for rare candies outside of the duplication glitch. So I clear out my entire party save for one. And I initially brought Drowsy along thinking that he could actually help out with the gym. Ha 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 ha! No. In fact, I did several save states up to this point, and I can confirm Drowsy's kind of fucking useless here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and battle these black belts here with Quilava from my party. Being Quilava frail? Yes, but Quilava also has access to Headbutt. Now you see what's going through my head right here and now. And oh yeah, I made him only flinch. So yes, I'm using flinch hacks in here. Defeat Black Belt Yoshi. And along the way, I am evolving my Pokemon. Spearow into Fearow, and Fearow is gonna be my flyer from at least until I'm ready to evolve Togepi. Ekans. And then Ekans is gonna evolve into Arbok. I literally grind out my rare candies and fed everyone enough rare candies until they were just one level away from evolving. That way I can capture all this on camera. Sandshrews evolving into Sandslash now. And as I said, Gold's gonna do all of this later. And Bayleaf is gonna battle the rest of these trainers. While Nidoran female and Nidoran male also evolve into Nidorina and Nidorina respectively. So, while Gold's technically ahead of Silver here, it really doesn't matter because both games are gonna finish at the same time. And the reason for this is due to all the Pokedex reading. And now for Oddish into Gloom. And by the way, all the second stage evolutions that are gonna be stuck there for a while, I'm actually going to dupe them a few times. So that way I can evolve them again with the necessary conditions. Either an evolution stone or So since all these Pokemon were holding rare candies, I get to remove them. Yeah. So Gold returned to the Pokemon Center because I realized I fucked up. I am missing a very specific Pokemon here. And interestingly enough, having both games do something different actually keeps things a bit interesting. So we don't have to deal with a bunch of boring stuff at the same time, and then all the good stuff. People think that, okay, this messes up the synchronization, but in another way, you could make an argument that this keeps the footage in the two games synchronized. As I literally have to take into consideration what I'm gonna do later on. So from now on, unless I can easily capture the entire evolutionary line, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna force feed whatever new catchers I have a bunch of rare candies. And then dupe them while they're holding on to a rare candy. And then I give the copy a rare candy so I could evolve them, remove the rare candy that they're holding, etc, etc, etc. And this is when I realized, oh yeah, a match shop is the only exception to this rule, because match shop is the only... And I get a call from Picnic or Gina. Come on. I'll worry about the second set of rematches next time. Silver here is gonna evolve his shiny Paras into Parasect. Again, we have copies. So now our shiny count is at 4 Pokemon. 5. The 3 red Gyarados, the Paras, and the Parasect. 6 if you count Cubone from Pokemon Yellow. Yeah, the Cubone I still have in Pokemon Yellow is a shiny. So now that I actually have a Pokemon that can use Strength outside of battle, I can now do the Boulder Puzzle. And also, I don't want to give any of my starters. And I'm teaching Meowth Feint Attack, just as he's about to evolve into a Persian. Alright. By the way, Stone Evolutions won't really be a thing till the end of the game. I also have a Venomoth in its Silver version. And I'm gonna teach Rain Dance be taught over Bubble, because Bubble sucks. Now we have a Poliwhirl. I grew level 16, and now Silver has a Kadabra. And with this episode, both games are gonna cross the century mark for the very first time. So that's exciting. Something else quite exciting is that I'm not really using much save states here. With gold, I'm just getting insanely lucky with the critical hits. The only thing that I manipped was the headbutts. And Bayleaf is gonna learn Body Slam. Honestly, I would rather hold on to Synthesis, but because I taught Bayleaf Cut, I can't do that. So I'm teaching Bayleaf Bot Slam. This is why I don't like teaching my star Pokemon HMs, unless it's Surf, because Surf is awesome. Any Pokemon that you would put in your party, they're just plain awesome. So Poliwhirl goes to the top of 61 through 80 because that's where it belongs. And yeah, I'm basically got Kadabra. I also need to evolve Bellsprout. So of course I do. And as a little reminder, I'm actually gonna do the whole evolution thing in gold last. In the meantime, we are taking on Shuck here. And we got lucky with the crit and the Dynamic Punch miss, 50% accuracy, so scary powerful, and it always inflicts confusion if hit. And you can see that Bayleaf was just a few points away from evolving. So I'll need to find a quick battle to give Bayleaf the remaining experience set. But I now have a Machoke. And I realized I sort of... Oh, come on. Hiker Anthony. I'll worry about the rematch later. I gotta deal with those rematches. I absolutely have to deal with those rematches. So the reason why I did this was so I could put both 2 of my 3 Krabbies into my party. I need to do this so I can remove the Krabby number 3's rare candy afterwards. And I also gave Machop a rare candy so he could still hold on to his gold berry. To my knowledge, the only other way to get gold berries in Gold, Silver, and Crystal is either through trading Pokemon in a time capsule trades, or what was it? Yeah, we're evolving Magnemite to Magneton. I'm trying to think, what was it? Or coming in second place of the bug catching contest. So Drowsy's kinda useless for Chuck's gym. Which is why I did what I did with my stars. Huge difference in terms of performance. So now it's Gold's turn to join the Mass Evolutions escapades, and because I already evolved Machop into Machoke, I can synchronize my movements a little better. So Krabby here evolved into Kingler. So technically 5 trades in this sense, but I want to grab all the rare candies. And the funny thing is, doing things this way actually keeps my stock of rare candies at 99. So that's fun. So yeah, I'm going to give the rare candy to Spearow first, evolving him into Fearow. So this is the one time where both games are basically doing something similarly boring to one another, and that's at the same time that's evolving all the Pokemon that I need to evolve. So I want to cut down the number of captures in Gold and Silver. With Crystal, I'm only going to do this with Pokemon that need to level up to evolve, whose evolutions can only be obtained via evolution method. So here's Coughing, Ladybug. Silver's just about wrapped up with everything. And something worth noting is that after Gold finishes up with training, we're going to fly down to Olivine City, trade the 3rd Krabby I have, the one whose rare candy I removed, for a Voltorb. And then do the same with that Voltorb as I'm doing with all of these other Pokemon. So I think this is the last set of evolutions that Silver needs to do. Gold's got a long ways to go, and I think the big difference between the two is that Gold has to evolve Spinarak and Mankey, while Gold has to evolve Spinarak and Mankey, while Silver evolved Meowth and Ladybug. Well, now he's evolving Ladybug. So I'm teaching HM Fly to Kenya here. So Ampharos gonna be my flyer for the time being. Chinchou will evolve into Lantern. Lantern is gonna be a very useful HM slave later on down the line, by the way. Now Pineco into Fortress. So yeah, this is definitely the boring part, to the point that Gold had just finished defeating Shuck, and Silver's still evolving Pokemon. But since we reached Cianwood City, Olivine City, Mahogany Town, and Lake Rage, we can begin battling the second batch of second teams. The second batch of rematches, so to speak, and battle all their second teams. It cleverly uses its thin, long beak to pluck and eat small insects that hide under the ground. With a very vengeful nature, it won't give up the chase no matter how far once it targets its prey. Time to read Pokedex entries pretty much the rest of the episode. If it digs at an incredible pace, it may snap off its spikes and claws. They grow back in a day. Alright, next up. Quick to anger, it stabs enemies with its horn to inject a powerful poison when it becomes agitated. It has a calm and carry nature. Because its horn grows slowly, it prefers not to fight. And here we are. It secrets a sticky drool-like honey. Although sweet, it smells too repulsive to get very close. The larger the mushroom on its back grows, the stronger the mushroom spores it scatters. Jeez. The powder on its wings is poisonous if it is dark in color. If it is light, it causes paralysis. Its lithe muscles allow it to walk without making a sound. It attacks in an instant. The skin on most of its body is moist. However, the skin on its belly spiral feels smooth. If its prey is bigger than its mouth, it slices up the victim with sharp leaves, then eats every morsel. The muscles covering its body teem with power. Even when still, it exudes an amazing sense of strength. Alright, now Kadabra. If it uses its abilities, it emits special alpha waves that causes machines to malfunction. Alright, next page. We already got those. Here we are. The Magnemite are united by a magnetism so powerful, it dries all moisture in its vicinities. Alright, and here we are. Always holding a pendulum that rocks at a steady rhythm. It causes drowsiness in anyone nearby. There we are. Its pincers grow peculiarly large. If it lifts the pincers too fast, it loses its balance and staggers. for wheezing. Wait, yeah. Top grade perfume is made using its internal poison gases by diluting them to the highest level. Alright, and I think that's it for the Kanto decks. Here I got the starters. Noctowl we caught. Here we are. The star patterns on its back grow larger or smaller, depending on the number of stars in the night sky. In Lantern's turn, it blinds prey with an intense burst of light, then swallows the immobilized prey in a single gulp. Now, I need to find Ampharos. The bright light on its tail can be seen far away. It has been treasured since ancient times as a beacon. That's the sick Pokemon at the Lighthouse. There we are. It remains immovably rooted to its tree. It scatters pieces of its hard shell to drive its enemies away. Now Granbull. Because its fangs are too heavy, it always keeps its head tilted down. However, its bite is powerful. And finally, we have Shuckle. It stores berries inside its shell. To avoid attacks, it hides beneath rocks and remains completely still. And those berries will turn into berry juice, and then will turn to rare candies. Double checking, that is it. That's all the evolution so far. And all the Pokedex entries so far. So now Silver's gotta take on the gym. And note that once I begin reading Gold's Pokedex entries, note that this is basically going to be the end. So I'm going to let you guys know ahead of time on what I'm going to do in the next episode. The next episode, I'm going to battle all the remaining rematch trainers, since I unlocked all the conditions for their second teams, without crossing over to their third teams. That is tricky because a lot of these teams are going to be missable, and they're going to be missable real soon. So it's imperative that I rematch all these teams now. This isn't an issue in Pokemon Crystal. You have to battle all the rematch teams, and in addition passing all the story checks, all the rematch teams have to be battled sequentially. So that's the big difference between Crystal versus Gold and Silver in that regard. So yeah, I'm just bringing back my old team back into Silver version, while Silver heads down and take on Shuck. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do next time. Battling all the rematch trainers. Maybe making a few captures. We could even do Union Cave next time, as well as the Ruins of Alf. Yeah, I've completely skipped over the Ruins of Alf. Anyways, Silver's gym match against the Cianwood gym isn't quite as smooth as Gold's. Even with the RNG manipulation, understand that I do make a couple mistakes with the RNG manipulation Silver version, but besides that, I also have to slow down a bit so Gold can have time to finish reading all of its Pokedex entries. And I mean all of them. So for example, this headbutt, obviously I'm gonna land the flinch, But after that, I'm basically not gonna bother. Quillava's not gonna see any action past this point anyway, so... The only reason that I have used Quillava is to get past Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan here. And Headbutt strats and being decently fast is enough to do that. But while I'm saying this, Gold's about to wrap things up, because after this set of evolutions, he's gonna fly down to Olivine City and trade the third Krabby, the one not holding a rare candy, for a Voltorb. And then he's gonna do the same with that Voltorb as he did with all these other Pokemon. Dupe them and then evolve them into Electrode while still retaining 99 rare candies. Level 22. Spinarak evolved into Ariados. So yep, Gold is basically all done with evolutions. So while Silver battles Chuck for the Storm Badge, Gold is gonna go make the final trade, the in-game trade, the third Krabby for Voltorb, and evolve Voltorb into Electrode. And I will be reading their Pokedex entries, and that's the end of the episode. For what it's worth, I do come prepared for this gym this time around, whereas I wasn't at all prepared for the strength because, well, I thought Togepi could learn strength. That sounds incredibly stupid given the fact that it's Togepi. It's a Pokemon that literally cannot learn any physically damaging moves on his own. Is a baby and his stats suck. What, Bayleaf used Razor Leaf? Use Karate Chop, critical hit. Yeah, I'm just gonna take the critical hit. Karate Chops here. Yeah, I'm not getting the critical hit rates in Silver version. Again, this is fine because as long as Bayleaf doesn't get completely destroyed by the end of this, I should be good. And I do get a critical hit. And a 2-hit Furious Swipes. For what it's worth, my cuts and Razor Leaves have been landing. All of them. And as a reminder, I kinda wish my Bayleaf didn't know cut, because now I have to get rid of Synthesis. So now it's time. Well, first I want to give Bayleaf a couple potions just to match the item space in Gold version. Gold used 2 potions because that was enough to get to full health. So Silver's gotta use 2 potions, even though Bayleaf is still weak. Still has a bit of wear and tear on her. So here it is, the in-game trade. Silver's gonna make this trade as well. For now, I'm just gonna try RNG manipulating my Razor Leafs to make sure that I can 2-shot both of Chuck's Pokemon. And without suffering any dangerous and without taking any dangerously strong attacks. So Razor Leaf here. I landed the critical hit easily in gold version, but got the Mind Reader, which means I absolutely need a critical hit Razor Leaf here. If I don't get the critical hit, he'll hit me with Dynamic Punch. Mind Reader ensures 100% accuracy for its next attack, even if its next attack is like 10% accurate. So, here, Gold is going to use a little bit of advanced rare candy trip. I save my game right here. I feed this Voltorb Volty 2 rare candies, and then give him a third to hold. What this does is it actually causes the Volty that's in my party to remain level 27 and hold on to the Paralysis Cure Berry, while the duplicate copy's level 29 with a replacement rare candy on standby. It's a neat little hacks I came up with. But as I said before, next time we are going to rematch all of the trainers whose phone numbers that we have and battle all their second teams. And if I have room, maybe I'll make a few more captures along the way. So before I start reading Pokédex entries, I'm gonna make sure to say my usual lines of dialogue. So I'm giving the duplicate Volty a rare candy. And I will evolve Volty into Electrode, our final Pokemon of the day. Probably could have held off doing this until the very next episode, where I could better synchronize the footage, but I digress. So I'm gonna move Electrode into his spot in box number 101 through 120. The top of 101 through 120 because he's Pokédex entry number 101. Abra here goes into his spot in 61 through 80. Kenya returns to our party so he could be my resident flyer. Next time we're battling the trainers, leave a like, comment, share, subscribe to my channel, I greatly appreciate it. It shoots itself suddenly high into the sky, then plummets down in one fell swoop to strike its prey. Transfixing prey with the face-like pattern on its belly, it binds and poisons the frightened victim. In an attempt to hide itself, it will run around at top speed to kick up a blinding dust storm. And Silver's making the trade for Voltorb as well. When feeding its young, it first chews and tenderizes the food, then spits it out for the offspring. They can't have offspring. It raises its big ears to check its surroundings. If it senses anything, it attacks immediately. Spoiler alert, Nidorina and Nidoqueen cannot breed and reproduce for some reason. What appears to be drool is actually sweet honey. It is very sticky and clings stubbornly if touched. Nidoran female can breed, but not its evolutions for some reason. Stays mostly in dark, damp places. The preference the preference not of the bug, but of the big mushrooms on its back. When it attacks, it flaps its large wings violently to scatter its poisonous powder all around. If approached while asleep, it may awaken and angrily give chase in a groggy state of semi-sleep. A swirl on its belly slowly undulates. Staring at it may gradually cause drowsiness. It possesses strong spiritual power. The more danger it faces, the stronger its psychic power. It always goes at its full power, but this very tough and durable Pokemon never gets tired, and we're making the duplication silver version right now. Even though it is filled with acid, it does not melt, because it also oozes a neutralizing fluid. Three Magnemite are linked by a strong magnetic force. Earaches will occur if you get too close. Earaches. That was weird. When it is very hungry, it puts humans it meets to sleep. Then it feasts on their dreams. Right, it can hardly lift its massive overgrown pincer. The pincer size makes it difficult to aim properly. And we're evolving the duplicate Voltorb into Electrode. It rolls to move. If the ground is uneven, a sudden jolt from hitting a bump can cause it to explode. It is dangerous. If it has too much electricity and has nothing to do, it amuses itself by exploding. If one of the twin coffee inflates, the other one deflates. It constantly mixes its poisonous gases. Alright, where is it? Where are the others? It spins string not only from its rear, but also from its mouth. It is hard to tell which end is which. The light emits is so bright that it can illuminate the sea's surface from a depth of over 3 miles. I'll be holding on to Voltorb's spot until I'm done with gold. A tail's tip shines brightly and can be seen from far away. It acts as a beacon for lost people. And now it's Fortress's turn. Its entire body is shielded by a steel-hard shell. What lurks inside the armor is a total mystery. It is actually timid and easily spooked. If attacked, it flails about to fend off its attacker. And finally, Shuckle. The berries it stores in its vase-like shell decompose and become a gooey liquid. It was discovered when Pokeballs were introduced. It is said that there is some connection. It stores an overflowing amount of electric energy inside its body. Even a small shock makes it explode. With all out of the way, this is Mike Gorin, sign out.